Welcome back to another edition of the photo diary. Today we outside. Weather's a bit nicer, so I thought once again to try something a bit different. Oh my, in fact, can you guys see that? I actually can't tell if you can. Is that a grouse? A pheasant? A grouse? Hopefully you can see it. I'm hoping you can. But anyway, this is the benefits of being outside. So yeah, so we've got three batches of photos this time. And this one is predominantly a city one. Let me just sort out my mic for a second. It's a city one. So mainly in London. Did a trip to London. What area was I in? Basically, I think near Hyde. No, it wasn't Hyde Park. Can't remember now. But anyway, somewhere central that I can't remember. And my phone is almost dying, so I better actually get a move on trying to do this. So there's like I said, there's 3 batches of photos. I've tried to basically have them kind of the same format as before, where we have some of my favorite ones and then there's some extra ones. So I think we should actually just start with the extra ones, because I think this one actually has a lot of extra ones. Yeah, it does. Okay, quite a few. So I think this is near Buckingham Palace. I won't talk too much about these because they're the extra ones, but there's like extra photos I essentially took before I got the actual photo I wanted. And I think at this point I was kind of in a rush because I had like an appointment to get to. So some of the photos might not look that great. It's only, I think, like the second or third batch of photos where I had a bit more time to actually look around and take photos. So anyway, the first 2, if you can see, okay, cool, you can. Is mainly, I can't actually remember the name of this park, but it's near Buckingham Palace, which I think is, I'm trying to remember what else is actually there. But anyway, because to be fair, by the time I'm recording this, it's been like 3 months maybe. So so anyway, the photos that I actually really liked out of that gate that you saw, so you can see this gate, and then it was more the close-ups. So I think the close-ups themselves kind of just looked a lot nicer than taking the photo where you had a lot of people around and the trees and stuff like that. So I think these are the best ones. I think, in fact, if I actually go back to the one, it's this one. I think there's not much that difference between the one and the extra and the one here, but this is the one that I really liked. So that's the one I picked. But if we were to just go through some of the other ones, there's like this one, or these batch, this massive building that I don't even know what this building is. Maybe it actually said. Let me take a look. No, it didn't say anything on there. But it's near. It's got an underground station nearby. But I just took a photo of it because it was huge. Like, you can't really see it in the photo. But like as we were walking past it, it was just like, okay, this is massive. So and it had some like statues and stuff on it, which looked really cool. But the building itself was just huge. I think that's probably why I just took the photo, because I was like, you know what, this place is massive. And then I think because let's not even talk about that one. But I guess what I was going to say was I found another statue in the park I was walking through. So I think I took 3 photos. I don't know which one is the best one. Maybe, I mean, this one you can't really see the statue because of the light in the back. I mean, they're kind of all like that, to be fair. I mean, they're all right, these photos. I think if I was to pick one from this batch, it's probably this one, the one with the gate, a close-up of the gate. But yes, so that's batch 1. But what I was going to say was, at this point, I was in a bit of a rush because I had an appointment. So these photos probably won't look that good in comparison to the other batches. So speaking of which, might as well actually just get started with the second batch. the other benefit of also taking a video or recording this outside, apart from all of the birds and bird noises and all of that, every now and again there's these cottontail bunnies that appear, like they just like basically appear and disappear. So I'm like hoping one appears while I'm recording this so that I could show you. But I've got other footage that maybe I might use in this video to show you when I've taken photos of them. But anyway, they run around. They're really cute and really small. A lot of them actually grown now because they tend to, I guess, you know, they grow up just like everything else. I don't know why I even said that, but anyway, yeah. So initially there's like I think a couple of months back they were like really small, tiny ones, like really tiny, and then they've kind of now a little bit later on in the year you see them, they're quite a bit bigger with their parents, like just hopping around. But anyway, enough about bunnies. We're not here talking about bunnies. Second batch. So like I was saying, the second batch probably has a bit better photos that I took. So we can start with the extras. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the one that had loads of extras. So we'll just make sure you guys can see. Okay, yeah, you still can. All right. I don't even know where to start then. There's a lot in here. Let me just check the ones that I actually, okay. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, we'll start with the extras. So one thing I've realized is I like cityscapes. Sorry, there's like flies everywhere. And I just like the way the buildings look when the light is hitting them. I think I probably expressed this in the previous photo diary when I talked about those buildings that I took photos of in Leeds. But yeah, this one of course is in London. Some of the hues that come out of the buildings with the light shining is just, I don't know, I just really like the way that they look, and I feel like maybe I should actually try to do more photos in cities of the buildings that look interesting to me. But anyway, there's like this one, there's also this one, because like this building has this like red brick look to it, and I think because of, I mean, there's a lot of buildings around it, so light doesn't necessarily shine on the whole building. It just shines on like a very specific part of it. I think I ended up taking like, I took like 3 photos of this building. Clearly I really liked it. So yeah, that's the second one, and that's the third one, slightly more zoomed out. But yeah, like, I don't know, I just really liked the hue of the red brick being hit by the sun. And this one is, we'll just skip over that one. Not too big of a fan of it. This one wasn't too bad, but I don't think I like maybe the composition of it. I mean, I feel like the right hand side, do I not like it, or do I actually like it a little bit? Unsure. Maybe we'll leave it at that. I'm unsure. But then there was this white massive building construction. Wow. Constructed building. I say constructed, they're all constructed, but like basically this it just had like a really cool look to it. I know this is like brutalist, probably like brutalist design. Let's go back. With the light and some of the shadows that it cast, because of the way that the building is, like, it's not just like a plain block. Like, it's got some of these ridges, and the way that those ridges kind of hid some of the light and created shadows, I thought was really cool. There's this more zoomed in one, and I actually think I took one of the ones that are not in the, yes, this one. Yeah, I think this is probably my favorite one off that building. I just think it looks, yeah, interesting to look at with the light. I think light just makes everything look cool. Not everything, but like a lot of things. In fact, I think this is probably another one on the side bit of it. I think if we go back, yeah, so on the right hand side you can see there's like a building there. I think this is what it was. I'm not sure. I would have to go back to remind myself. If we go back to extras, see if there's anything. Yes, and then from that building, actually, you know what, I don't mind this one either. I really like this one actually, with the blue sky. Maybe this one is my favorite, not the other one. yeah, I don't know. So then if we keep going, so the path I was on, a lot of the trees were blooming. So there was like some people just like looking, there's like a bridge basically to the left. And I think that's what this photo is. So yeah, a lot of these trees were blooming, and I really liked this one because it looked like this lady was like essentially smelling the roses, even though like she's like on this bridge part that's like quite high above to where I was. And of course the tree itself is on the right. So I don't know, I kind of liked the composition of this one. I think I took quite a few, one without her there. Yeah, there's two that she's not there. Yeah, and these funky, weird, triangular type structures. Pretty interesting to look at. Don't know if I captured them correctly, but I thought might as well take a photo of them. I think I took more than that, didn't I? How many did I take? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4. Okay, yeah. So yeah, anyway, out of all of those ones, this is my favorite one because you just got this, yeah, lady looks like she's smelling the roses. Moving on. Yeah, don't think I like this ones. Yeah, I didn't like these ones actually. So we'll leave these ones in extra and go back to the actual main bit. This I liked because to me, maybe not actually now looking at it on my phone. I was going to say you couldn't initially tell which building was in front, but then I guess the light kind of gives you that hint, because like initially when I took it and I looked at it on my camera, I was like, oh, it looks as though maybe they're kind of on the same, like they're next to each other, but like I'm pretty sure the building on the right was actually quite a bit further away. So I kind of really liked the way that looked. And then this one, I think I a tad bit overexposed, but I felt the right side of the building casting the shadow on the left looked really nice. But the other problem, I guess, with being outside is ants. Anyway, but yes, slightly overexposed, I think. And then I think, yes, this is that from the other like extras. There was that building on the left that was like a blue building. This is that same building, and I really like the shapes that it has, like this kind of crease instead of it just being once again just a plain block, glass block. I think it's really interesting what they did to make it look like it's got this crease. And of course that itself creates different types of shadows, and I think I almost didn't capture anything else. I can see there's a little like black line on the bottom here, but yeah, I kind of really like that. So I think that's actually it for batch 2. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, that's batch 2. Moving on to batch 3. Now, moving on to batch 3. Batch 3 is my favorite. Or it has my favorite photos. Yes. This was heading towards golden hour. It's not quite golden hour, I don't think. Or at least maybe it was getting close. So, where should we start? There's quite a few of a tree. Anyway, the first one. Yes, I don't think there's much to say about this actually. You know, sometimes I just take photos because I think, oh, that looks nice, and that's it. There's no like big explanation on why. This one is overexposed, that's why it's an extra. Oh, okay, I think I actually then turned it down a little bit, but still not necessarily that interesting of a photo to look at. Looking at it now. About this, yeah, no, still no. Guess maybe that's why these are an extra. I think the tree looks nice. That's why I took so many photos of it. And then let's have a look. Yeah, that probably was okay. I think this, there you go. That's probably the best out of the extras, because once again of the interesting shapes from the building. and some of it being in the shadow, some of it being the light. The sign clearly shows I probably overexposed it too much, but yes, like the shapes of the building. But moving on, so the ones I can't decide between which one is my favorite out of all of them is, I'll explain 24 to 27 first, and then we'll go back to 23, because I think maybe 23 might be my favorite. 24, this one is obviously too dark, because I was playing around with my camera, because I saw something I really liked and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to take a photo of that, because I think this is when we actually hit golden hour. Yes, so we'll start with this one. This I took like 3 photos of the same thing. You probably can't, I'm hoping you'll be able to see it on the actual video. On this camera it's a bit dark where I'm at now. So there is a taxi on the left, but the thing I wanted to draw attention to is that building in the back. It looked really nice to me. Just that like golden hue of the sun shining off the building. And I actually intentionally kept it dark because I wanted the focus to be at the back, or that building at the back. I'm trying to think. I think maybe the middle one is probably the best one, 26. I think that, or the one with the taxi at the beginning. Those are the 2 that I like out of this batch of that same building. But I think my favorite one, it has to be this one. I think I've just decided. This building, when I took this photo, I felt so proud of myself. I mean, it might be completely like shot wrong or overexposed or whatever, but I just really loved this photo when I took it. The building looked so smooth. Like, I don't know. Of course, it's got like a red brick, the red color of the building behind it, and some other distractions around. There's a tree on the top right, but just looking at, I don't think it detracts enough from this building at the front. I don't know, it just didn't, maybe to me, it doesn't look real. Like, as in, it's like super polished, super clean, and I just really like the way it looked. And that's why I think this is my favorite one, with the slight shadow, some of it being hidden. I think makes it, ask some questions like, how big is this building? Like, what happens to the right side? Like, what's on the right side? What's underneath? And I'm trying to actually remember if it was like a massive building or not. I don't think it was a really big, but it was like a few stories tall. But yeah, I just thought, I don't know if it's, and I don't even know if it's like an office or something, but it just looked really nice to me. Yeah, that's my favorite one. I think it's definitely my favorite one. So I think that's all the photos for this photo diary. I think that's it. So I don't think there's anything else we need to cover. That's my favorite. So I guess we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching.